back.
We are so back.
We're so back.
We are so back.
Hey,
Yes.
we're here.
We are here.
Joe Burrow mic'd up. Hold on now. That's why it's just on the podcast.
No.
All right.
What is this? What week are we in?
Oh, wow.
Are we live?
Yeah. All right, here we go. Welcome back to the Extra Point College Football Podcast. I'm Max Santa.
I'm Dean Williamson.
Alex Martin.
Landon Jordan.
Josh Cornatzer.
We're back after a bye week. Everybody had a little sickness. Extra Point took the road this past weekend to Boston and Chicago. Had a good time. Watched some games on the phone while we were in the streets. A lot of things happened last week. Didn't go over the Virginia Tech game after they got blown out.
Saw a lot of Michigan fans.
We saw some Ohio State fans.
Free
We
Joe.
saw some Bengals fans.
Had some altercations, but we did find a Buckeye in the end on Harvard's campus. So
Wolverine
great
is
to
in.
see. So
Yeah,
this
right.
week we got a bunch of games. Our first one is at 12 on Fox. Number 3, that team up north, favored by 3.5 at number 10 Penn State. This game, if you go and look at all the if you go back and look at all the games that Penn State and Michigan have played on Wikipedia, you'll see that all the games in Happy Valley are very close. And I'm going to go back just to take a look at all the games on this list and why is that popping up. Okay, here we go. So, last time they played in State College, Michigan won 21-17. One before that, Penn State won 28-21. One before that, Penn State won 42-13. One before that, Penn State lost 28-16. One before that, Penn State won 43-40. So as you can see, there's a trend here with games being close or Penn State winning them. So I think that Penn State, there's a good chance for Drew Aller to shine, and I think he's going to do it. Their passing offense hasn't been good. That's a knock on this offense this season. Kaytron Allen and Nick Singleton haven't really been getting going this year. But I think in this game, I think they're going to figure it out. Drew Aller had his bad game against Ohio State, and I think it's his time to shine. They're back at home. This is a perfect scenario for it to happen. If this game was in Ann Arbor, I don't think it's happening. But this is the first time Michigan is going to get tested all season. They're finally playing a real team, but they're coming into a hostile environment. Penn State's been tested already. They played a good team. They played the number 1 team in the country, might I add. But I think Penn State is going to go, and I think they're going to win this game. And I think the Big Ten East is going to be absolutely nuts going into the last game of the season in the game. I think this is going to be crazy. I think college football is crazy this year. I think anything can happen. As I said before, games are always close in State College. I think Penn State has a good team, and I think they get it done. They have before. Before the past 2 games, Penn State won by a large margin in 2020, and they had a 2-game winning streak going to this. So this game's always kind of back and forth. It's not really like Ohio State, Penn State, where Ohio State dominates this matchup. But I think Penn State gets them. I take Penn State with the points, winning outright.
I agree. I mean, Penn State lost to Ohio State, but I feel like they didn't play as awful as I thought they were going to play. I picked Penn State to win the game, but they still put up, like I said, their defense is their defense.
Their defense is
Their
good.
defense is what I think can keep them in this game with
Yes.
Michigan. And I honestly believe their defense can help them win this game.
And-
Even if they don't get the production on offense, I think their defense will keep them in this game. And I think they'll either win or they're literally only going to lose by 3 points.
I think Penn State's also going to limit the run, and that's what Michigan likes to do. And also, Roman Wilson isn't Marvin Harrison Jr. They don't have any guy on the outside that's really going to threaten you like Marvin Harrison does and get open like that.
There's not many people in college football.
There's no one Marvin like that. So,
They have a call.
alright.
Give me Penn State. This
Let's
game
go.
is at home for them. Yeah, they lost to Ohio State, but I think it's fair to say Ohio State is probably the best defense in the country. And they still did not get blown out.
Yeah.
They were giving Ohio State a fit for a while. I think that they have made their offensive adjustments for Michigan. And like I said, Michigan, they didn't play anybody.
Yeah.
And at the start of the season, they were struggling.
I don't think either team's going
I mean-
to run the ball that well either. I think it's going to be a quarterback battle.
Yeah. Like I said, this game was in Ann Arbor. Might be different. Now who knows? They probably got a scout up in Happy Valley still in
I
science
would
too.
put it past
But give me Penn State. I think Michigan goes down. I said at the beginning of the season, I said a few weeks ago, I don't think the top 4. I think the top 4 is going to change a lot, just to how it is. And I think this is the first. This is the first domino that falls. James Franklin gets a big win. which is a rare for him.
Ooh, it's gonna be good.
I'm flipping the switch. James Franklin hasn't won anything at all since he's been at Penn State.
That's not true. They beat that team up north multiple times.
It has a name. It has a name.
But he has done too much crazy. I mean, this is a game where Michigan, the last 2 weeks, they went through all this nonsense. They're waiting to get to one team, Ohio State. Michigan, this is a,
So wouldn't you say they could be looking ahead?
I wouldn't say they're looking ahead. I'm just saying that they're gonna take care of Penn State. Penn State's defense is phenomenal. Their offense, I haven't been sold on their offense yet. Michigan, I'm telling you, if it's quarterback battle, you give me J.J. McCarthy any day over Drew Allen. Any day. J.J. McCarthy, I'm telling you. Penn State's defense is great. Both teams are defense heavy, and I really do think it comes down to whose offense is better and who can throw the ball better. I just feel like Michigan has that advantage with McCarthy and the receivers, Roman Wilson. More than Michigan got, they just had that little bit of an edge. I think it being a noon game, you had to be loud and crazy, but I still think Michigan takes care of business.
Penn State can't come out in this game flat. They gotta start, heavy.
Like Mo Bamba, first play of the game.
Yes.
They get
Yes.
loud,
That-
forcing the call timeout, just like 2019. That's what we need.
No, I think, one, this should have been the whiteout game.
Yes.
That should have been this game.
This should have also been a 3:30 kick.
This should have been what time?
It's a 12.
This should have been a night game. This should have been 7 o'clock kickoff,
Yeah.
whiteout game. But, Max, can you read me what this says?
No,
The-
I
this-
can't read
He's
it.
an Ohio State fan, he can't
Landon,
read.
can you read me what this
Wolverine.
It
No,
has
no,
the
no,
first
not that
one.
part, not that
I
one,
can't
just
read
this
it.
part.
Go Blues.
See, this is what's gonna happen on Saturday. The Wolverines, they've been hearing all of this chatter, they keep hearing all this negative stuff. No one's saying how they're gonna win this game. All they're talking about is, are they scouting or not? Which
They are
they probably are, but they definitely are. But no one's expecting them. No one's talking about what they're gonna be able to do in this game. They're gonna come out here. They're gonna shut out all the noise, and they're going to hand Penn State a devastating loss. Probably a 2 to 3 score game where Penn State's not gonna know what's gonna hit them
Because they're
Michigan,
cheating. That's
No.
not cheating though.
No,
They got all the
because
signs they can do.
because Michigan is going to be overlooked, and they're going to be fired up in this game. Because guess what? This game they probably haven't been able to scout because of all the stuff. This is a game where they're going to show the world that Michigan is a legit football contender with or without scouting.
All right, Josh. The last time it was a three-score game in state college was 2001. Michigan won 20-0. That's 22 years.
We'll make it,
Since they lost by 3 scores in state
22
college.
years, oh, that means zebra.
That's longer than you've been alive.
What one was that?
2001.
Yeah, that is longer than I'm alive.
Exactly. My point being that ain't gonna happen.
Yes, it will. Michigan is going to be coming into the game fired up because all they're going to be
How do we
they
know Michigan is good without stealing signs? That's my question.
How do we know how to
still
sell
have
signs?
fantastic talent.
Penn State ain't nothing but up north Texas A&M, and I'll stand on that.
Yeah.
But they got all this hype.
They're better than that.
All this,
They win
they got,
games they're supposed to.
they got all this
Texas
glorified
A&M
hype.
can't do that.
They got all this big time hype. They gonna do this. They gonna do the playoffs, national championship, best team, and
No
I
one's
wonder
saying
how
that. No one is
you
saying
I wonder
that.
how you can
The only
say
people that say that
Ohio State beat Penn State by 4, but you're gonna say Michigan's gonna win by 20.
Yeah, I don't,
At Penn State too.
Yes.
no.
That's what you're
that,
saying.
ain't all that might mean I ain't so.
Well, I also
Let's
Look,
go.
Michigan might win this game. It ain't gonna be a blowout.
No, it's definitely
Hey,
not.
Clemson
It will
was
be a
able to beat the
touchdown
Irish.
at most.
Yeah, it'll be. I agree.
Hey,
Clemson was able to beat the Irish. We didn't even talk about that.
we don't need to
I don't know Ohio State
Hold on,
saved
what about
the win.
You
What about
deleted that
Louisville?
game off of the.
What about Louisville? Taking down.
That was-
I thought we were going to discuss that.
That was not shocking.
Is that really?
Alright, anyways,
Let's move on.
At 3:30 on Fox, number 18 Utah. At number 5 Washington, who's currently a 9-point favorite.
What? Just elaborate on your thing, I gotta listen to this.
Alright, so Washington is a good team.
A great team.
I think they're good. I also think Utah is pissed off after how they played against Oregon. And I think that by the trend, Washington has been playing games close. And I think Utah's defense has an opportunity here to like damper that. I don't think Washington's defense is as good as Oregon's defense. So I think they're going to keep it closer. I think Washington wins, but I'm taking Utah with the points.
I still think this is a home game for Washington. I think Washington's offense is still really good, despite like 2 weeks of just struggling to beat teams by large margins. I think this is that game that they show out that they're back and they're still destroy teams. This is one of their home games too. I think they beat them by 14.
Okay.
I agree with Dean. Utah's offense has not been like anything. I mean, people were calling them to have an upset against Oregon, and they did absolutely nothing. Now,
I think Oregon is also the best team in Pac-12, but that's not a conversation.
I can get behind that.
Washington.
I can get behind that, but I just don't think. Yeah, Utah's defense is good. I just don't think they're going to be able to handle Washington's offense. I really don't. I mean, Michael Penix had a Heisman performance against USC. Now, granted, that's like one of the worst defenses in the country. But I mean, I think Washington. This game's at home. If this game was in Salt Lake, that's where they play. They play in Salt Lake.
No, this game's at.
No, I'm saying does Utah play in Salt Lake?
Yeah.
Okay, if this game was there, maybe I'm going Washington because it's at home. I'm going Washington. No.
That's funny.
Like,
I like that. That's pretty funny.
Wow.
Alright, go ahead. You get to talk about Pac-12 football. Come on.
Grant.
You want me to?
You want me to tell you?
Oh wait, let me go. Let's have you finish this
The
off.
real dogs.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey,
The real dogs are gonna be losing this weekend.
Huh?
Utah is gonna win.
Uh-oh.
Because
Washington.
Washington hasn't been affected by Pac-12 cannibalism this year, and I think the Utes still have a pretty good defense.
I agree.
So give me
I
the Utes.
honestly, I can see that happening.
Hey, last time you picked
The
Washington to
Pac-12 is
lose,
funny,
it was
man.
the Boise State. But where do we go with that one?
Blowout.
Let's not talk about that game. Let's not talk about that game. Give me the Utes. The
Alright,
Utes.
Go ahead, Landon.
Not even close. Washington wins by at least 14, could be up to 20. Michael Penix absolutely bullies Utah.
Outrageous.
Not even
Yes.
It's the real dog.
The real dog.
I didn't say that. That's blasphemy. But no. Washington smokes Utah.
Ever since
I
we
can't
saw
say I
the
agree
Washington
with that,
Stadium,
but-
they have not lost a game.
That is true.
And it will continue.
That is true.
Alright, next game at 3:30 on CBS, number 13. Tennessee, favored by 1.5, at 14 Missouri. I think that Missouri showed me this past weekend they can play with good teams, even though they didn't win. I like Brady Cook, man. He's a good quarterback. Luther Burden. I think that.
Run back.
Yeah, they're good. I think that their secondary is also pretty good too. And I think that they're going to beat Tennessee. I think they're going to cover. This game's at home for Missouri. So I'm taking Missouri with the points here, and I think they're going to win.
I agree. I mean, they're coming like right off the loss to Georgia,
Yep.
and they're going back home.
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel like they're about to just. I think they're going to win by 2 touchdowns against Tennessee. If I'm being honest, I think they're going to come back.
I don't think Tennessee's that good.
I don't think Tennessee's like good. I
Yeah.
mean, like they've got some wins, but like even as
I don't think they're the number
Florida,
13 team in the
lost
country.
to Alabama.
It's
I don't think
it's not
they're-
the same Tennessee team.
It's
that
definitely
was
not.
I'm going Missouri. I mean, Missouri's 2 losses are. I mean, they lost to LSU and then Georgia. That's not.
Yeah.
And they went. They were giving LSU a fit the entire game.
Yeah.
They were keeping Georgia nervous for most of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Tennessee's got. I don't like Milton. This game's at home in Missouri. And the spread's only like 1.5 points. I think
Yeah.
they can easily cover that.
Whoever made the spread line right here needs to get, somebody needs to take a shovel and just smack them upside the head. This may be the worst spread line I've ever seen. They should be given, it should be Missouri minus about 12.5. They will steamroll Tennessee. I can tell you now, that offense is off the charts. They're good. Their defense plays with fire. Eli Drinkwitz is, I kind of think he reminds me of just a little bit inexperienced Kirby Smart. He's got that fire in him, he gets the players fired up, they come out of Georgia, they believe to start with, they gave Georgia all they wanted up until fourth quarter, we finally put them away. I think Missouri's a really good team, and I think that they will take care of Tennessee lightly, easy.
Is there a reason why Tennessee's 13?
They have a majority of two losses, don't they?
Yeah, they lost to Bama and they lost to Florida.
Now, Florida.
Yeah,
They beat Florida.
I thought they lost.
Wait,
No, they
no,
lost to
Florida
Florida.
beat- yeah,
Florida,
they lost to
yeah.
How
Who
is
they
it?
beat?
How is Missouri
They
below?
beat Missouri? Oh, wait, no, they're playing Missouri right now.
No, they didn't beat Alabama.
Their best win is A&M.
How
That's
is
not
Missouri?
good.
How is
That's
Missouri
not good.
below Tennessee?
How are they 13?
Give me the Tigers, I'm not gonna say.
Whoa, now, hold
I'm not gonna say.
I don't know.
Why
The
not?
only thing Tennessee can do is throw the ball deep and run. That's
really,
it.
I mean, but
And their defense isn't. Their defense to me isn't great.
But that being said,
They're not a
they
13.
can only really
They're not top
hit the deep ball every few plays.
Yeah, they're not like as Alabama is. Like,
Where they
good
can
at it.
constantly do it. No, Tennessee won't be able to do that.
And Joe Milton's not as vocal as.
Hendon Hooker was far better of a quarterback than Joe Milton.
Yeah. Everybody that was hyping him up this season, I didn't get it.
They don't have a ranked win at all, they've lost against an unranked Florida.
Yeah, how?
He got all the hype for just.
I'll tell you
destroying
why.
Clemson, that's why.
SEC bias.
And he
That's
destroyed
why.
Yeah,
Clemson right
yeah.
before the season
Missouri should
started.
be ranked above Tennessee.
Yes, SEC bias.
Oh,
SEC
There's
bias.
no reason why
Big Ten
Tennessee
bias
is
as
13
well.
right now.
With the 3 teams.
Yes,
Oh my
exactly.
gosh.
Big Ten East bias.
Nick
for
Big
sure.
Ten East bias.
All right.
Ohio
This is the
State.
game- This is the game of the week.
Number
right?
7.
Can I ask a
Or
question
number
before
seven.
we kind of get started?
What?
Well, I'll say what you got to say, kind of introduce, and I got to ask a
At
question.
7 o'clock on ESPN. Number 9, Hotty Toddy. Ole Miss at number 2, Georgia. Favored by 11.5. Notice how Georgia struggles against teams with quarterbacks that can run.
Yes, Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart
can
Can
run.
I ask my question
And-
before y'all get fired up?
Okay, go ahead.
So I know that I was outside and
Oh,
I was
boy.
right at some, I was a little bit confused. There's a railroad right here and there's me right here. And I heard somebody holler. I didn't know if they was referencing me, the engineering, and all I heard was 6 words. Who's that coming down the track? Mean Machine in red and black. Let's go. Alright, that's the introduction. I just had to.
All right, let me speak some wisdom into this. So, I think that this is I didn't think Missouri was going to beat Georgia. I think this is the team that could do it. I think Jackson Dart is a better quarterback than Brady Cook is, and I think he's far more athletic than he is, and I think he's playing really well right now. The one thing that's going to kill Ole Miss is if they cannot run the football. Now, they have a really good running back, one of the best in the SEC, Quinshon Judkins. They have a really good offensive-minded coach. And I think this is the team that could do it. Because I don't think Georgia's defense is as good as it is, as it has been the past couple of years, and I think you can't exploit it. And I think this is the team that's going to be able to do it because I think that Jackson Dart, he can move, he can throw the ball, he can do a lot of different things, and this is where Georgia struggles. And I think Ole Miss's defensive line is also getting a lot of pressure. And if they want to be able to win this game, they're going to have to get pressure on Carson Beck. Carson Beck has not had the game like the other guys have this year. Drew Aller's had his bad game. Kyle McCord has had his bad game. Carson Beck hasn't had that this year. And if he's going to have his bad game, if he's going to have a few tip-offs go the wrong way, if he's going to have a few interceptions, he's going to throw a few balls that get batted down, I think this is the defensive line that's going to be able to do it. I think that, man, this is tough. I don't want to say that Georgia's going to lose this game because, like, I don't really know, man. Like, I think Georgia's a good team. I think they find ways to win. But I think that Ole Miss is going to cover the spread, 11.5. I took Georgia laying the points last week, and it really bit me. It was my one loss last week, and I'm not doing that again. Even though this game is at home for Georgia, I think it's going to be a tough matchup. It's a night game in Athens, very tough environment to play in. But I do think that Ole Miss is going to play right with them. And you know what? I'm taking Ole Miss to win outright.
See, I have Ole Miss covering the spread, but I don't think they get it done. I don't believe that they're going to go in Athens and they're going to get it done. Georgia, this whole time, has just found a way to win. They look like, you look at their offense, and they just find a way to win every time. And I just don't know if Lane Kiffin's gonna have it in him. If they can play like, if their offense can play like they did against LSU, where they're just able to drive right down the field, but LSU's defense is not the same as Georgia's defense, because
Yeah.
LSU has one of the worst defenses
Yeah.
in college football. But I think if their offense can play that way, I think they can beat Georgia, but I still see Georgia win this game by a touchdown.
I agree. I want Ole Miss to win this game. I want it to happen. I think everyone wants it to happen.
I just got a feeling that's gonna happen. That's all I'm.
I would love for it to happen. I just don't think it's gonna happen. Now, this game's gonna be close. I think this game's gonna be really close. Ole Miss is going to take it to Georgia. But I think Georgia finds a way to win, like they have the rest of the season.
I think
But
Georgia's
I
turned
think-
into the new Clemson. I think that's what it is.
Well, that's not the case anymore.
Clemsoning.
I don't think that's a word
It's not a term
anymore.
yet.
Not anymore.
I don't think that's a
I
term.
think it's
That's
Listening now is finding a way to lose.
No, it's fumbling at the goal line.
Josh, your team got beat by like 30 successfully. Again. I don't
It
even know how to fix
happens.
All right, let's reel
We
it
played
back.
a top 15 team.
It happens a
Alright,
lot.
maybe
Let's reel it back in.
Reel it back
I
in.
think Ole Miss covers the spread. I think this game is going to be close, but I think Georgia wins by a touchdown or less, and they have a drive near the end of the game and win the game. I don't want that to happen.
I'm trying to sit here and convince myself, but I honestly do feel like Ole Miss.
I think Ole Miss can
I
beat
think that
Georgia,
because
but
I don't-
just don't know if they'll
I
happen.
don't. I think there's the best defensive line they're gonna play all year. I think there's the best offensive play. They played an offense last week. That was good, and I think they're playing an even better one this week. And at some point, attrition is gonna set in for these guys. They've got Tennessee coming up too on the road. This is a tough stretch. Like at the beginning of the season, we didn't think the stretch was gonna be like.
Hold on, it's what?
This is a tough stretch.
Hold on a minute, hold on, let me just make sure
Listen,
I heard that right.
This is a tough stretch. I think they win. I think they lose this game because I think they could be looking ahead to Tennessee, which I don't know because this is a tough game. Like, and I don't think they're gonna lose to Tennessee. But I mean, I think at some point, like, the guy who's coming to start for the first time, I think he's gonna make a mistake. Like, I think it's bound to happen,
No.
and I think it could be a mistake that ends up costing them the game.
Now that being said, when was you mentioned Kyle McCord has had a bad game? When was Kyle McCord's bad game?
I mean, I wouldn't say like.
It was the beginning of the
I
season.
would, yeah,
It was the beginning of the season.
yeah. I wouldn't say it was like a bad game, as in like it was all of his fault
No,
necessarily.
but
But
it wasn't
like,
a great game for him.
it's not like he's been putting up crazy numbers.
So I wouldn't say Carson Beck has been putting up crazy numbers either.
I would disagree.
By way of him putting up those numbers himself, I'd say a lot of that has to do with Brock Bowers and a lot of his receivers.
I think so too, but I also think you take what happened last week and put that into consideration.
Yes, and I think this is not a game where Georgia is looking ahead. I think they know Tennessee. It's not that hard of a game. I think they know that this is going to be the hardest game until the SEC championship. And I think Georgia just has it's a team that's been there year after year for the past 5 years, where they know what they got to do. Kirby Smart is not a new head coach. He knows his routine and he knows a way to keep his guys fresh. And I think that's what they're going to be able to do on defense. I think, yes, this is going to be the hardest team they've played. But I still think Georgia finds a way to cover the spread and get that win where their defense is going to be able to kind of hopefully find a way to stop and contain Jackson Dart. Because if they can contain Jackson Dart, they're winning this game. Their defense is not going to have a hard time. And I think the offense is still going to be able to keep rolling.
If Georgia wins this game by 2 touchdowns, I think they should be number one.
Yes.
Really?
I do. Until the end of the season, we take down that team up north.
Oh,
But if they do beat them by 2 touchdowns, I do think they should be number one.
Is everybody in the win? Or am I-
Go ahead. You're on the spot.
Am I up?
You're on the spot. Here you go.
Okay, so usually I just put my team and I just spill through kind of, and just give them a pick without no logic or no numbers. But today I think I'm putting some numbers involved with this thing.
statistics. You went off a field
Stat
today.
man.
He's going on the stats.
Statistics, you ready?
How the turntables.
Georgia, points per game, 39.3. Opponents, 15.44. But I'm gonna tell you where these 15 points from the opponents comes in at. Quinshawn Judkins will be a factor this weekend. Georgia's known for pretty good running backs. 16-15 game. Now granted, they gave up 1,100 yards on the ground. Georgia also gave up 300 yards. I'm being serious. Auburn put up right at 300 yards on Georgia's rush defense. But, you want to talk about, they better do what they got to do on the first 2 downs. I'm going to give you some more numbers. Georgia's defense third down conversion. Teams on third down are 30 for 113 attempts at 26% conversion rate. They better throw the ball on first down or second down. They better do what they got to do, because Georgia, you put a night game in Athens, home game crowd, I'm telling you, I'm biased, but Max Devender, he can attest that it will be loud and off the charts Saturday night in Athens. So Jackson Dart better run around and scramble, do what he's got to do with Quinshawn Judkins. They're gonna have 2 plays. They ain't get much on third down. I can promise you that. Georgia they've struggled a little bit on fumbles though. I'm looking at it. They've had 11 fumbles, so they had to kind of narrow this down. But you ready for this? Carson Beck averaging 9.9 yards per passing attempt. He's 200 for 30 out of 322 passes, which is pretty stout. But it all depends on, I think this is giving Carson Beck time, how our offensive line holds up. They've been playing really good. I got Georgia winning by about 9 to 10 points. I think Ole Miss is going to be one play away or one score away from. This is just gonna be one of those little aggravating games. Like we get up by two or three, and we score a touchdown and get up by 9 or 10. I really do. But I do have Georgia taking them down this weekend at home in front of the crowd. I'm saying it's gonna be. Georgia's defense been giving up some points lately, so I do think it's gonna be about 38 to 28 or 38 to 27, something like that. I feel like Georgia's going to hold up their points, and their offense is playing just as good, if not better, than last year's offense. Georgia's Carson Beck, people like to hate on him, but I think he's just as good as Stetson Bennett. And may not run.
I think he's better than Stetson, like as a prospect.
And you think about it, he doesn't have these weapons this year like Stetson had. Last year, Stetson had A.D. Mitchell. Brock Bowers ain't played 3 weeks, so he had A.D. Mitchell, Brock Bowers. I mean, you got
a guy starting at wide receiver 1 that wouldn't even touch the grass at Ohio State.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah.
I mean, he's got 2,700 passing yards and 16 touchdowns. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
And the receivers is way down. I mean, our star receivers is transfer from Missouri, Dominic Lovett, transfer from Mississippi State, Rob Thomas. Lab McConkey's the only one that's been there, and then you got Ridgely Jackson, he's played punt returner. So
I think the biggest, so that stat you threw about Georgia's third down defense, they're actually third best in the country. And I think another statistic to pay attention to is Ole Miss's defense is 5th in sacks in the country with 31 on the year. And Georgia is nowhere to be seen on that top 50 list. So I think that could play into this game. Georgia hadn't really been and the thing is, Kirby Smart said this before the season. He had an interview with Josh Pate actually, and he said one of the things that concerns me this season is our ability to get to the quarterback, and I think you're seeing it right now with the defense. It's changed. Now the offense is better than last year, so it kind of makes up for it. But I think that's something to pay attention to in this game, and I think that could play out this weekend and could be to Georgia's demise or Ole Misses, so.
And if you go back to our preseason podcast, and if you really go in depth and pay attention, who Landon Stephen Jordan said Georgia's one loss would be or possibly could be is Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin, these younger coaches that's got fire in their players, like Deion had to start the season, like Kirby's had in Georgia the last, I don't care what you say, 25 games in a row, it takes a lot of discipline and fire week by week. But you got to just wonder, I mean, how much longer can Georgia go? I mean, they are,
Yeah, at some point you're gonna lose.
I mean, Alabama didn't even just do all this winning back to, even when they had national championships, they
They would lose at least like one game.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it takes a
So
lot of.
that means like it's a ticking time bomb, it's coming.
It don't mean that, but it means that,
Like a thief in the night, it's coming.
Yeah.
it means that Kirby Smart,
Are you prepared?
Parents-
it means that Kirby Smart shouldn't have to pull his wallet out and ask George what I'm getting at. Somebody better let him go to tab wherever he goes. Kirby Smart gets fire in them, they end up winning. It makes me take 4 blood pressure pills on Saturday instead of 2, but Georgia does get the win.
Oh my gosh. That's why it doesn't work out for the week, is watching Georgia football. His heart thinks he's working out, but he's not, he's just watching Georgia. Alright, last game at 8 o'clock on ACC Network, Puke at number 14, the North Carolina Tar Heels.
That is not what that said. That said,
Tar Heels. I love doing that. I think that's hilarious. Alright, so in this game, Riley Leonard's playing, correct?
I don't
No.
think he is. He
Is he not?
has an extended token.
Okay, either
It doesn't
way,
matter.
North Carolina lost to Georgia Tech and lost to Virginia, so I ain't got no faith in them. I don't care what happened last
There
year,
is
Campbell.
Literally zero.
I think
faith.
North Carolina will win this game, but I think Duke covers the 14-point spread. I think it's too large for the Tar Heels. I think it'll be a high scoring game.
Yeah, it will.
But
Their
that's
defense is terrible.
my 2 cents on the game. I don't really know that there's much more to elaborate on there. Mike Elko's teams are usually pretty well coached, so, and it's a rivalry game too, so.
The only thing I got is the fact that when I watch North Carolina with Alex, all I got is their defense is terrible. It's awful.
Yeah.
They let everyone drive down the field. So I got the Blue Devils not winning. I think they lose by 10 points. 'Cause
Yeah, I
just
agree, I
think
agree.
North Carolina's offense is too good. I think Duke has a decent defense, but I think North Carolina's offense is just too great.
Alright. Alright. Whoever put this 14-point spread is an absolute moron. I don't understand where this came from. I really don't. Last year,
Losing to UVA and Georgia Tech.
last year,
Well, shouldn't it be smaller then? That's what-
Oh, yeah.
well, it should be way smaller. Last year, North Carolina won 38-35. It was a 3-point game. I think Duke is a really good team this year. Even without Riley Leonard, they still have weapons. I think they have a decent defense, and they got weapons on offense too. They didn't get in the red zone at all against Louisville, but Louisville has a way better defense than North Carolina.
Yes, they do.
We couldn't.
Yes,
I mean,
they do.
I think a Swoff could have scored a rushing touchdown with North Carolina into Georgia Tech. And we were letting everybody through. We scored 42 points and we still didn't win the game. I mean, that's just bad. That's
Well,
just
score 6 or
bad.
something.
It's like
That's
McDonald's
bad.
workers, anybody can join.
I think Matt Brennan.
As long as it's the second or the fourth quarter, anyone could go out there and play North Carolina.
Yeah.
I think Matt Brennan could have scored a rushing touchdown with North Carolina in that game. I mean, it was just bad. Our defense
Maybe
is
John's
bad.
flag football team could.
Hey,
Right.
they got a touchdown. They did get a touchdown.
They got a touchdown?
They scored a touchdown.
We're not that bad.
Nice.
But
Alright, well then we're even, then we're not much better.
we just quit it.
Yeah,
This is a rivalry game, and when it comes to backup quarterbacks, I don't know what it is. North Carolina freaking loses every time they have a backup. We're playing a backup quarterback. Don't say that name. That's a bad name.
Finley.
It's a bad name.
Ben Finley.
I think Riley Leonard isn't playing. I think North Carolina has. I think our offense is good enough to get us over the hump. It's just going to depend on what if Gene Chizik is even present. It's just going to depend on our defense.
I'll tell you what, I think are you gonna be watching this game? Or y'all got a session?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
If you're not watching it, I think y'all win. If you do, I think y'all lose.
No, it only
Hey.
matters if I'm physically
Oh,
present.
okay,
I'm
okay.
1-4. I'll probably be 1-5
Okay.
once we go to the Clemson game.
Wait, y'all still lost to Georgia Tech and you weren't physically present
That
there.
don't matter. Our defense wasn't even there. Gene Chizik was just watching a movie upstairs.
He did go to Atlanta that week though. So in a way,
That is true.
Alright, look,
he should have known.
North Carolina does not cover the spread at all. It's a rivalry game, we don't cover the spread. I think if we win, it's gonna be by a touchdown or less. If we win. We beat Campbell. I think AJ could've went out there and beat Campbell. I mean, that's not a metric, not after we got run over by Virginia and Georgia Tech.
I don't even
So-
think half of us knew Campbell had a football team.
I didn't know they had a football team. So, this game could go either way. I'm gonna be honest. Because last year, when we lost our bad game, the wheels just fell off. We couldn't do nothing the rest of the season. So, I would not be surprised if we lost this game, but I think we can squeak out a win.
Weren't you at that game last year where you?
Yes, I was.
Alright,
Alex has a reason.
or you'll be good. I gotta make this quick. North Carolina. Slightly, I can't remember what I put on there. I know I got North Carolina.
You had Duke covering.
I had Duke covering, big thing is close one. It's just a rivalry game. Any kind of big rivalry, it don't matter what sport it is. It's gonna be a pretty good game.
14 points is ridiculous.
Especially in basketball, I don't know, it might not be close.
Not a rivalry anymore. Duke owns
What? What?
Cal Phil Fowler.
What?
Give me John Shire. John Shire's gonna be at the game.
Yes.
Anyways.
We're not talking, no, stop.
Anyways, North Carolina does find a way to, Duke ain't totally horrible, so I think Tar Heels will win. They don't lose a team because they're horrible. So Duke's not as bad enough for Tar Heels to win. So, I do think they'll beat Duke by probably about 10 probably.
That might be a stretch, but.
But Duke
Oh,
does have more than 2 wins, so
Yeah.
I do got Tar Heels win this game. Now, if it was a team that's under 2 wins, I don't know.
But they do have a backup quarterback, that's the thing.
I do got the Tar Heels winning.
Alright.
Alright. I've got the Tar Heels covering. Hear me out.
No,
I have watched this Duke offense, and when Riley Leonard's not playing, they can't they can't throw the
I
ball.
mean, yeah, you're right.
Have
They
you seen the
can't-
North Carolina defense? Have you seen our defense? It's non-existent.
They let Virginia score over 30 points.
Okay, but that's a starting quarterback at least.
I don't think that
That's a
matters.
stretch.
What did
Brennan Armstrong
Armstrong
as a starting quarterback is a stretch.
This is Musket.
Brennan Armstrong.
Brennan Armstrong.
I was
I was
at
gonna
NC
say.
State.
Is NC
Oh,
State.
yeah, he was old Virginia quarterback.
Yeah.
Who's the Virginia quarterback?
Musket.
I don't even know.
I don't even know.
Exactly.
Musket. He's got that
My
rifle.
point.
I don't know, but
He's got that rifle.
Burns kid at Virginia Tech.
Drone strike.
I didn't see any of those stats.
They're wearing drone
Watch
strikes
the
this week.
Counter-Strike.
You go.
Alright.
What?
If you look at the Florida State game where Riley Leonard, they were only good when Riley Leonard was playing. And then after that, they couldn't move the ball at all. And Riley Leonard was the #1 passer for Duke, and he was 7 for 16 for 69 yards and an interception. They couldn't throw the ball at all. And that next week against Louisville, where they got blown out, it's like another
He didn't even
team.
get in the red zone. They didn't have a single point in the red
Riley
zone.
Leonard also played and had 9 completions with no touchdowns. No Joe Burrow. So I don't think Duke has the offense. Yes, I know UNC's defense is bad, but I don't think, and they are bad. But I don't think Duke has the offense to get the ball moving, even against a very bad UNC defense.
I think we need USC and North Carolina to play.
Ooh,
No.
ooh, that's all
It'll be
offense.
70-70.
That would be like the App State UNC game last year.
We did. There was no reason to bring that game.
Yes, there was. There's always a.
What's the score of that one?
Like
63.
63-61.
That was a crazy game. I
I had-
remember. What's the game of the season?
That was week 2.
Second, yeah,
Second.
okay, yeah.
I had like 9 hard things.
That was in Boone, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I remember calling Noah Ellington during
About
that game,
work.
like, dude, what is going
I
on?
about broke my TV.
Was this year the last year y'all play App State?
Yes, thank goodness. We do not want to play. Mac Brown's already said we're not playing them again.
Oh, must
That's
be
what Mac
nice.
Brown.
He's running, he's scared.
That's what Mac
Must
Brown
be
said.
nice.
We are scared.
At least
As
you
long
got
as Mac
17
Brown's
to
gonna be
OU
there.
left.
I hope not after this season.
The next coach is going to want to play.
I hope he's going after this season.
Who, Mac?
Alright.
Yes, he needs to go.
Let's go over top 4 real quick. I don't think much has changed. Mine hasn't. Well, mine changed a little bit. I flipped 2 and 3. I think the Cheaters are at 3, and I think the Georgia Bulldogs are to be at 2. Ohio State 1, Florida State 4.
I don't even think the Cheaters are in there anymore. I don't know. I just feel biased towards Michigan because I'm tired of seeing them in the media at this
Yes.
point. So I have that Ohio team, Ohio State, whatever they are, at 1, Georgia at 2, Washington at 3, and Florida State at 4.
Okay.
I got Ohio State at 1. I put Georgia in there. I think they deserve to be in there. I mean, they haven't lost a game. I mean, I don't think,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens after this week. I got Michigan. I think they will be out after this week.
I think so too.
But you can't really keep them out at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, and then I got Washington. I kicked out Florida State because Florida State is just they're just kind of chugging along. They're not really impressing. Florida State's not very impressive right now. I don't think they struggled with Pitt for a long time. I think Washington is a better team than Florida State right now. So
Yeah.
yeah. That's right.
We got those bums in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
Then I got Georgia, number 2. Still a really good team. Then I've got the Michigan Wolverines. The Michigan Wolverines.
All right, so
The
Josh,
University of Michigan.
so Josh is a Florida State fan. He's also now a Michigan fan.
Oh no,
He's also a North Carolina fan.
Yeah, because he's
No,
And he's also a Virginia fan.
no.
Yeah.
He used
Yeah,
to
that
Wahoo.
Wahoo.
Yeah, you did.
On a
You
podcast.
did say
The only
that.
Virginia Tech fan should ever.
There
utter
is
those words.
proof of it.
He did say that.
That'd be like me doing the Wolfie sign with my hands. Now he's an NC State
How
fan.
you doing?
He just did.
All right,
I ain't doing
and
it. I ain't doing it.
Washington
I
number
ain't
4,
doing
the real dogs.
Oh.
Alright, go ahead.
Number 1. Go, Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia, number 1.
Their offense just keeps looking great, always looks great. Our defense is a little bit questionable, but they're still really good. But our offense is playing fabulous, probably better than it has the last 2 years. Ohio State's 2. 1 and 2 is interchangeable, but I just got this feeling that Georgia is the best right now. Number 3, Washington. Number 4, Michigan. And my opinion, Oregon's better than Florida State.
Yeah.
That's my 5 and 6.
I agree, but I can't put it.
I can't put Oregon above them.
put Oregon
Well,
above.
I almost did that. I almost put Bama up for today.
You know,
Bama's gonna stink in the playoffs.
I think
tell you
Bama's
that.
getting in.
When
All
they
right,
beat Georgia.
I think it's gonna be Ohio State. I think it's gonna be Penn State.
Penn State.
Yes.
Really?
Like it's gonna be my same top 4 as the beginning of the season. Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia, Alabama. That's my top 4.
So
2 Big Ten
Yeah,
teams,
two
and
SEC.
2
No, no, no.
SEC teams. You don't think
Big
like
Ten
even
East.
Oregon or
This is just a
Washington-
foreshadowing of what's to come next year with all the super conferences.
So you don't think either Oregon or
So
Washington?
if Oregon beats Washington Pac-12 championship, you don't think they'll get in?
No, yeah, I do think
Oh,
so.
okay. You don't
I
they'll
think
get in?
Someone's
things
gonna
are
beat
gonna
them.
happen.
Someone's gonna beat
But
each other.
here's the thing, that'll be interesting, but
oh, cannibals.
if Penn State goes and beats Michigan this week,
And the only loss is to Ohio State.
And then Michigan.
And if Ohio State beats, now that's a different story, but that ain't happened this year. We get in, Penn State's sitting there with 1 loss, doesn't get to the Big Ten championship, but there is division still in that conference, so I don't know, I think it'd be interesting.
So it'd be like
I don't
last
know.
year where Michigan and Ohio State went.
Yes, I think that's what's gonna happen both Penn State this year.
Who wants to narrate how Biscuit would like present his top 4? Like, since he's not here, who wants to like?
I'm gonna go with the Buckeyes here at 1. You know, they keep winning. Everybody says we ain't nothing, so I think they're gonna win. I guess at 2, I'm gonna put Georgia. I mean, you know, they keep winning. Carson Beck's playing pretty good. They beat Missouri last week. I think they're a pretty good team. Number 3, I guess I'm gonna go with Washington. You know, they haven't lost, so I think you put them there. They're playing pretty good. I think Michael Pennett's a good quarterback. You know, he came from the Big Ten at Indiana.
Big Ten represent.
And I guess at 4, I guess you could put Florida State. And I think they're playing pretty good. They haven't lost either, so I'm putting them at 4.
Chris was
Big Bev, shout out. Alright, that's gonna do it for the extra point. About choke. That's gonna do it for the extra point crew.
So extra.
And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
What that even happened?
I don't know, I just died.
Alright, so the total granite counter is at 2.
both from AJ students.
Grant.